Welcome to UGR Unplugged.
There you
There
go.
we go. Okay. You may continue your awesome
Where
wrestling
we talk
conversation.
about Scott pulling straitjackets on people.
Ooh.
I know we
Well,
missed
yeah.
all.
Well, that's fine. I mean, the wrestling days, they were fun, but, that's the past. And I'd really much rather talk about the things that I'm doing these days. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
or,
40th
or, or,
anniversary Pong
And
event.
30 of
yeah,
Tron.
or I could tell you the funny story about my gamer tag that was starting
Oh,
up,
yeah. Yeah.
at the end of the last show.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, there you go.
Funny stories.
Well, I get this, my gamer tag and most of my online handle is usually original PSP. And I get people that think that has something to do with the PlayStation Portable or, get on me for that. It's like, that has nothing to do with that. Back when I first started gaming, we didn't have gamer tags. We had initials. You put your initials in the high score table at the arcade and sometimes even on the home games. I don't really know why, because when you turn the game off, it didn't save it or anything, but it was kind of cool. But and Sony came out with their portable all those years later. I'd already used the initials PSP, so I had to, put original in there, make sure people understood that I wasn't copying Sony's thing. I was using them back when Sony was still making 8-track tapes and record players. But people started calling me that. I think it was '87. The PSP name started to stick with my friends. There was a Galaga machine at the local Aladdin's Castle arcade. And I would go there every Saturday morning, and I would roll up the score to all nines on Galaga, and stop there so I could sign my initials in and be the top scorer on Galaga the whole rest of the day. And this college guy, this college like varsity guy, he started getting really pissed about that because he'd come in and he was pretty good, but by the time he played the game, my initials were already at the top. He'd come in every Saturday afternoon. So he'd start getting mad, and he would cuss and he would scream and he'd make a big scene, and the arcade manager really didn't like him doing that because people would leave the arcade. They wouldn't bring their kids in there if you got this screaming college football player, right? So, I suggested a joke to him, and I went up there on a Friday night. He ran the extension cord from the back room to the Galaga machine. So when he shut the power off that night, the Galaga wouldn't turn off. It would still be on the next day. So I went in there and I played it. I did that 5 times instead of 1. So I made the high score table read PSP. That was the top score. The second score I wrote SEZ, says, and the third, fourth, and fifth all said ha. So it said the high score table was all maxed out, all 5 spots. And it said PSP says ha ha ha. And so this So this college guy came in the next day, and he played to play his game. For some reason, he never looked at the high score table before he'd play. So he played, and he ran up 700,000 points, thinking he's at least going to get first or second place, And so that came up. He didn't even get to sign his name in. He just saw PSP says ha ha ha. And the guy punches the wall and starts screaming, "Who the fuck is this PSP guy?" He starts going around to all these people going, "PSP, I'm looking for you, PSP, PSP." And he wanted to yell at me. And, of course, I'm, 8 years younger than this guy at least. So I'm kind of scared. I'm playing Super Mario, actually, about 5 feet from him with the time he starts doing this. And no one stooged me off because they didn't want to see me get killed. But after that, that's when everybody, stopped calling me my name, and they started calling me PSP. And, by the way, that guy quit going to the arcade.
That's heartbreaking.
So that's when the name,
So
when the name stuck. Well, it was funny. Yeah, he never knew it was me. But several months later, I'm actually going to see a movie, and I hear this loud guy from the little video game section as I was going to check it out, and he was in the movie theater playing Galaga. And I thought, it'd be really funny if I, just go up after him and do this again. But I thought, nah.
Aww.
So I guess he went. I guess he went there to start playing Galaga because there he could have the top score.
I wonder if the guy to this day is like, who the fuck is PSP? Like, it still eats at him every every day.
I've often been wondering if now that as I'm getting more and more visible online doing the things I do, if he's ever going to put 2 and 2 together. I'd like to. Maybe he'll hear this, and I'll be like,
You never know.
you never know. I mean, it'd be funny. I'd like to talk to him again. I'm hoping he calmed down. I mean, God, you know,
Yeah.
he might have had a freaking aneurysm by now or something, and he's not around. I don't know. This guy needed to mellow out. It's just a video game, but
Oh, you never
that's
know. You'll probably be at San Diego Comic-Con and
yeah.
he's gonna call you out, PSP, and then the crowd just like splits like the Red Sea, like
All of a
just
sudden,
pointing at you like challenge
and then like an
now.
arcade thing comes out, like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's that's how we had to troll. That's how we trolled in video gaming back in those days. You know, it's,
Troll.
you know, that's what we did. We do things like that, you know, or you know, nowadays, you know, just different ways of doing it. We didn't have to cuss at someone over a headset. We just embarrass them like that.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess the term that's used, you know, in modern day, you know, with party chats and game lobbies is like flaming or trolling, where people are just like, oh, you suck, and they just like kind of just throw things out and just say just random garbage. And it's a lot different than back in the day in like arcades where people are standing around and then they're kind of like, you know, talking in the backdrop. Do you think it's a lot different, or has it gotten increasingly worse from
It's
then to
gotten
now?
worse. I mean, I think the anonymity and the fact that people are able to do it from somewhere else, I think is part of the reason for that. I mean, you know, there was trash talking in the arcades, and you know, the arcades were not scene wise not as dissimilar as you know it is going on that like Xbox Live now. You know, in the arcades back in the day, you could play with or against you know all these different people, all these strangers and stuff from all over at any given time, and you know, so in a lot of ways, you know, something like you'd hear on a, you know, a Call of Duty lobby or something is kind of the same thing. You can come across players from all walks of life, all over the world at any time. But back then, you know, there was some trash talking and stuff in the arcades, and some things, like I said, you'd put funny things on a high scoreboard or something. But you know, you're in person. You're only going to say certain things to people in person, as opposed to you go onto an Xbox Live and some of these people, you know, they're sitting in the comfort of their own home, maybe thousands of miles away, and so yeah, they're going to say something a little trashy or a little more rude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Usually, I don't engage with it with them. I just let the game speak for itself.
Right.
Um, I actually sometimes encourage. I actually sometimes want somebody on Call of Duty to try and do something like that and try to talk noise in the lobby, because that's when I'll start. I practice funny kills. You know, I practice embarrassing ways to kill people, and then that's what I'll do to the trolls.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so there's that guy. He's camping over there, and I'll have practiced a sticky grenade throw to where I can throw it through the window and stick him right in the nuts.
What a
Um,
kill cam.
you
That
know,
is,
I oh yeah,
yes, that's amazing kill cam.
I actually got a YouTube clip of one of those kills. You know, a lot of the funny kills, but that's one of the ones I got a YouTube clip of. One I didn't get to save because the guy quit the thing, and the Call of Duty didn't save my replay. Was the guy that was doing that, and so he jumped off a platform, did a 360 in the air, and tried to hit me with a tomahawk as he spun around. And all I did is like Indiana Jones. I just aimed. I kind of below him, you know, where he was going to be. Waited for
Mhm.
the right time, and as he's trying to do that, not only does he miss me with the tomahawk, but I hit him. I shot him right in the head, headshot,
Oh.
and he left the lobby. He like left the game immediately, and it, you know, he was the host, so we went to the host migration, and it glitched, and I didn't get to save my
Oh.
damn. Because I was like, I want to put that up there, because what's beautiful about that is you can see the gamer tags of the guys you embarrass.
Yeah.
You know, like on the replay. I think Call of Duty is superior for that. Some games don't do that. Madden doesn't do that. Madden, it's anonymous. You don't know. I really wish that, you know, I got that. I got a Madden clip from last year where I started the game with a quarterback sneak and took it 80 yards for a touchdown. And because the guy was talking trash beforehand, like, yeah, my defense is going to crush you. So the first play of the game, I run it with a quarterback sneak, 80 yards for a touchdown. But
Mhm.
I can't embarrass the guy because I don't remember his gamer tag. It doesn't show up in the video.
I think the worst thing, I was playing Nuketown, and just right off the gate, you know how everyone starts throwing grenades?
Yes.
Well, someone threw a tomahawk right in my face. Like, I just looked up and just saw this thing falling. I was like, huh? Smack.
Oh
You
wow.
know, it's like I feel like just about everybody has that one. If they've ever used tomahawks or throwing knives, they have that one amazing thing that they're so proud of. And mine, I love, It was in Black Ops. It was on Firing Range, I believe the map was called. The one that has that tower that you can climb up on the ladder. And I think it was like a sticks and stones match for the wager match. It wasn't like a legit multiplayer match. I got it was either a double or a triple kill with a single tomahawk. Now, the funny thing is that's not really technically supposed to be possible because once the tomahawk hits somebody, it sticks to their body. Well, I hit somebody who was climbing up the ladder in the tower with a tomahawk, and because his body started to fall to the ground, the tomahawk detached from his body and hit somebody who was below him walking about to walk up the ladder. So I've never seen a double kill with a tomahawk except for mine, and
Wow.
I take pride
Well,
in that.
well, I got, I'm more sticky grenades and or
Yes.
Yeah, no,
I,
I am too. I was just screwing around.
I will use like in my secondary. I will use like missile launchers and stuff, but only when it's to embarrass somebody. I won't noob tube with them, but I'll if it's somebody that's being a certain way or they're camping. I'm not averse to running into a room full of campers and just hitting the wall with a missile launcher and killing all of us.
Get out of there. Kaboom.
Because because it's just like it's like I don't here we go. I don't care if you take me out. I'm not gonna. I don't KD, a good KD ratio ain't gonna help my credit. I don't we need to have a high KD ratio to qualify for a car loan like some of the people act like it is. So I'll take myself out if it means taking some people out with me. And
Yeah,
but
if it's worth
people are stupid. They'll go camp by cars all the time. They'll go camp by cars. I think the last clip I got off of Modern Warfare 3 this year, because I put it down a few months back. I didn't like it as much as I like Black Ops, and I've been really busy too. But it was right at the start of a match. I see off in the background, I see a guy is laid down on a car, and a guy is kneeled down beside the same car.
Yes.
So I just launched, used a grenade launcher, and I just launched to the car and blew them both up.
My
You know,
favorite
it's-
was claymores with the cars. Like you can plant them in a way that it's almost
Yes.
like a mousetrap,
Yeah.
and it will do like that chain effect. And that was my favorite thing. And I always got cursed out by the game lobbies for doing that. But I would do the
I got a Claymore triple kill in Black Ops by laying it down by a spawn point.
oh my god.
I laid it down by a spawn point, and it's there for like, I laid it in by a spawn point, and I went and basically stashed myself somewhere, waited for a few minutes. So my buddies killed a bunch of guys on the other side of the map. They all respawned there, and they all three of them ran to that Claymore. And the funniest thing about it is two of them never saw it. One did, but he decided instead of telling his buddies or getting out of the way, he decided to shoot at it, and they all three blew up. But yeah, I would do that. There was on Firing Range on Black Ops, there was a Jeep right by this tunnel that everybody liked to run through. I wouldn't put the Claymore necessarily by the Jeep. I would put the Claymore like in the Jeep, like to where the lasers are still going through the window. But because sometimes people would check for it there, but they'd never check the actual Jeep.
Yeah.
So they would.
They never check the vehicles. They just run.
See,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Another great game with like a replay feature. Like I love playing Halo Reach because like the sticky grenades in Halo Reach, you just throw one and then like 5 minutes later you'll get a kill from a stick and you're like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Did I do that?
I think you like it because it has that camera feature that allows you to see yourself and the
I
person
love
that
the
you just
slow
took
motion
out.
you can do, and you can make a little video clip of it. Like I have so many clips. Like
Yes.
there was this one I threw a sticky grenade just randomly. I just throw sticky grenades because I do, and I threw the sticky grenade, hit one of the man cannons, and the man cannon launched a sticky grenade into a place where there was like a bunch of guys camping a flag room, and the guy was trying to come out and quickscope someone. It hit him right in the face, and he couldn't see anything. The shot goes like far left of the guy's face. And he goes boom, triple kill. I'm like, oh, okay, we can go walk in and take the flag now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, there's almost nothing sweeter in a first-person shooter than a multi-kill.
Oh yeah.
That's you mentioned sticky grenades. I mean, I've had a lot of Call of Duty instances where I'll stick an opponent with a sticky grenade, and it's funny to watch the replay, watch them freak out. Like they start running all over the place, trying to, it's like they're dead. Face it. If I get stuck with a grenade and I can't shoot the guy immediately, I don't run around. I know I'm dead. But I've stuck guys with sticky grenades and then watched them run up to their other teammates, and I get a multi. It's
See,
like, thanks.
see if
You know, I appreciate it. Or they'll run to a car. You know, I'll stick them with a sticky grenade and they'll run over by a car, and then, you know, their teammates camping by the car, of course, because they're dumb. So, you know, a little moment becomes a big one.
see,
But
it's always more like say you're on the receiving end of a sticky grenade. I'm one of the people if I hear the little tick tick or the of a plasma, I'm running straight at the guy who threw it at me.
exactly, no,
Yeah,
exactly.
martyrdom. I'm
And
taking you down.
you know, you know, that's one thing I didn't like Modern Warfare 3. You couldn't look at it from your opponent's point of view, but on Black Ops you could. The replay mode didn't work, or the theater mode didn't save it right, which is unfortunate. But I stuck a guy square in the middle of his face with a sticky grenade. And so from his point of view, this looks like this sticky grenade is like right in front of him. You can't really tell it's stuck. You know, it looks like it's like floating like right in front of him from his first person point of view. So yeah, the guy starts like running around in circles and trying to jump out of his thing. And so as soon as he jumped off the platform was when it blew up. So, of course, he's in midair, and so now this thing on his face explodes and sends his body flying off. You know, I don't know why people they don't react to that sort of thing, and then they'll criticize me for it. It's like, I pegged you with a sticky grenade from 500 yards away. Yes, that takes skill. Maybe if you moved around, I didn't know where you were, then I wouldn't have been able to do that, pal.
I wonder what okay, maybe pop quiz out of all you brainiacs.
Oh jeez.
What is the first game? Well, hey, it's UGR Unplugged. I have to be the one to say it.
Okay.
What is the first game ever that allowed you to teabag your opponent?
Mine was Counter Strike.
For me, it was Call of Duty World at War. That was my first truly interactive online experience. I mean, my first technical online game was Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I mean, and we would taunt each other, like, you know, go up and down, but it wasn't, I wouldn't define that as teabag. It'd be like air teabagging or something.
Well, allowed you to crouch, I guess.
The air teabag.
I guess, but I didn't get to do it over their dead body. I mean, so I don't know if you want to count that as a teabag.
Dead body.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I didn't want to count that. But I would definitely say World at War. In fact, I had a friend. I used to have this like clique of like 5 other people, and we would always play Hardcore Search. World at War, Hardcore Search and Destroy is like my fondest memories of online gaming. And there was one of them, and we didn't get along very often. We're kind of friends now, even though we haven't talked in a while. I would always team kill him, and then I would just. I know it's a dick move, but it's like he would try to do it to me, but I would end up doing it. Everybody thought it was funny, and then I would just go about the game normal. It would just be him. I'd be focused on the win, because he was always a dick to me over the mic, and I'm not that mean of a person in terms of what I say. So I'd be like, okay, and I would just shoot him, just for being an asshole. And so my first teabag was technically a team kill.
Wow.
I remember it very vividly.
What about you,
And I am
Scout?
not ashamed to say that. He deserved it. Oh, well.
Yeah, I actually remember, you know, before it even had the term, I used to do that. I used to get up close to enemies on Super Mario and do that, when, you know, just for the hell of it. So I think that might have been some of the earliest examples.
See, I lied
you
with
know,
my entry. I just realized that I played Quake, and Quake had a lot of teabagging.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I don't do it. It takes a lot to get me mad enough on Call of Duty to do that, but I have
Yeah, I
done
don't
it.
do it anymore. I haven't done it in a long time.
Well, my favorite one was in Black Ops. I don't normally camp, but this time I was trying to eat, you know, and I didn't want to like stop and break up our team, you know, for me to eat and then come back a match later, you know, because that's a pain in the ass.
Mhm.
So I just kind of went and camped in this one tower, and this guy came up there, and he's a teammate, and he shoots at me and knifes at me like, how dare you come and sit up in my tower, you know? And I'm sitting here, I'm eating, you know, I'm honestly just sitting there. And so one time he comes up and he knifes at me, and then he goes over to the edge of the tower and he gets shot, and he goes down in the second chance. And then he crawls over to me like, help me, you know, he wants me to revive him. And, I was like, no, this guy's been a dick to me, screw you. So I got up and teabagged him. And of course, in Black Ops, in Black Ops, if you remember, if you don't revive them, eventually they bleed out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the replay, it looks like I kill him by teabagging him because eventually I'm teabagging him, and then it is like the fifth or sixth time I've smacked him in the face with my junk, he dies. Like, yeah. Of course,
That is awesome.
that guy made it his mission to try and troll me for the rest of the match too. But
Of course.
Speaking of team kills, back in Halo, it's always a thing. Like if you're rushing the rocket launcher, rushing the sniper, there's always that one idiot that'll kill someone that's in front of them trying to get the power weapon. So I was in front of the pack waiting for the sniper. Because I play snipers a lot. If I'm going to be in a regular Slayer game, 4-on-4, I'm gonna go find the sniper rifle. It's what I'm good at. So I grab the sniper rifle. This dude starts shooting me with the freaking VR. I turn around and just no scope. Boom! The demon moved like I just did a 360, shot him, and just kept turning and went right back to where I was supposed to be aiming for the quick scopes on the people coming out of the spawn. It was hilarious. Like everyone was just like, "Whoa!" Of course, I got booted like 3 seconds later, but it was so worth it.
Yeah.
Well,
You get a lot of those crazies who pull different stunts and things like that. I will have to say, like, with multiplayers, the majority of the people that I encounter, like the trolls and stuff like that, that they will do that. Like they'll try and knife me and things. And I've actually heard in like game lobbies, it's a chick, get her. I'm like, whoa, wait, what is?
Hold up.
Am I the
no.
new Frankenstein? What the heck? So I've
Well,
had people come after me like that, and
I think you'll appreciate this story. There's this. I hadn't played Call of Duty with her since Modern Warfare 2, but she's still on my friends list. And we ended up picking her up on our team because she had come into a lobby playing by herself one day. And when we were on the same team, we kicked ass. When she was on the other team, we were the only ones killing each other. So we're like, we need to start teaming up. And we get that same thing, some of these guys clearly have never had girlfriends or something because they act shocked when a girl shows up in the room.
Wait,
Yeah.
it's a specimen with boobs. What is this?
Which is like, which is ridiculous.
it's a unicorn.
But yeah, something like that. And then, but this one guy, he's really trashing her. And he's like, oh, yeah, they got a girl on their team. We're going to kick their ass. And she just says, look, I bet you $20 I'll get the first kill on you with a rocket launcher. And he's like, you're on, bitch, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
So sure enough, we all run off. And like maybe 8 seconds in, I hear whoosh, boom. And I look down at the thing, and that's exactly what she did. She knew exactly where he was going to go. And sure enough, she killed him, first blood, with a rocket launcher.
Wow.
And like the rest of the match, she just basically just shadowed him. And I think she killed him 14 times to 4 times he killed her. And we went back into the lobby afterwards, and he has, he's completely silent. His mic isn't even on anymore. And we're going, hey, where's your $20, asshole?
Yeah.
I don't know why guys do that. I mean, a woman gamer is not uncommon in the first place. I mean, it's almost
Right.
half of gamers altogether now. It's never been uncommon. I mean, people that act like it's a relatively new thing that goes back to some of those media misconceptions that make it sound like it's just a bunch of guys. It's a big sausage fest. It's the only people that play
Yeah.
games. I'd always dated women that were gamers. I always knew women that were gamers, always. I mean, throughout, this entire time. And I can't go onto a game of Call of Duty, a session, a Call of Duty multiplayer without running across others. So I don't even know where that comes in because it's like if I'm running across them often enough to where it's like, oh, okay, no big deal. Who cares? There's other
Right.
people that act like, yeah, like they see a unicorn or whatever,
Yeah.
like they just saw Stan Lee, and
Yeah.
they all
I hear that.
I see
They're
Stan
all
Lee all
freaking
the
out.
time. I see
You
him
know.
in every Marvel movie.
But
I saw the
saying.
Amazing Spider-Man by the way on Tuesday, and he was in it again. And his appearance this time was a little bit longer, and it was probably my favorite appearance of him, probably ever.
Don't ruin it for me though.
Yeah,
I won't.
don't spoil it.
Oh.
I know I won't, but
So-
when I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you guys off. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's like he doesn't show up until like the end of the movie, and I don't know why I was getting worried that I hadn't seen him yet, because he often does show up at the end. I mean, like in the Avengers movie, he shows up at the end. But I was like, God, where's Stan Lee? I mean, I don't know why, but I had a feeling that he just wasn't going to be in it for some reason. My head had me thinking that. And then he shows up, and it is his longest appearance. He doesn't say anything. Again, not going to spoil it, but it's definitely
Well,
his longest and my favorite of his cameos in the movies.
he even shows up in cartoons sometimes now. My oldest was watching some one of these modern day Spider-Man cartoons a few weeks ago, and I thought I'd watch part of it with him. And Stan Lee showed up as the school janitor.
Oh wow!
Oh,
You
that's
know, yeah, for just a moment. But I mean, it was very obviously him, just kind of in the background, sweeping up. It's like, that's Stan Lee. He's making cameos in his cartoons now too. Look at that.
Yeah.
So you want to know who you should never play Assassin's Creed with? Jerome.
Why?
Why?
Because we're
Why?
playing.
We had.
We're,
Oh, just because I kicked your ass. We were playing Assassin's Creed Revelations multiplayer yesterday. I came in first place. Cameron came in second. I had like triple Cameron's score. Big whoop. So I owned you.
well, no, it's funny because like every time that when every match that me and him tried playing, like we're playing free for all. So you have one contract and there's like usually however many people trying to kill you. Well, every time that me and Jerome were sitting next to each other, whether we knew it or not, we were each other's contract every time. So
And the thing is, Cameron plays as the Jester, and it's like a DLC character, so there's no other Jester walking around. Playing as the Jester is like the dumbest idea. I don't know why you play as the Jester.
I love the Jester.
Because, yeah, but the game doesn't spawn AI that look like the Jester. So when I see even just like a Jester just walking out of the corner of my eye, I know it's you. And just for the laughs, I followed you every time. And guess what? Every time you became my target, and every time I killed you.
No,
It was so awesome.
yeah.
So Scott, what's your all-time favorite game currently?
Yeah, I get asked that all the time, and it's one of those things where I got to imagine it's, I imagine like a movie critic has a hard time picking a favorite movie because I mean they've seen everything, and
Right.
I've been gaming for so long that it's kind of hard to pick just one because of course each era there's certain games that stand out to me and they become my favorites, but then maybe the next generation, maybe some of those games don't leave that lasting impression and some do.
Yeah, that's why I usually
So
say current, because I mean, if you say all time is one thing, but like I would say all time current, like as of now, because next year might be different.
yeah, well, I mean, I really liked Black Ops. I liked Black Ops a lot more than Modern Warfare 3. I played Black Ops really pretty much the entire marketing cycle. I mean, from when it first came out till the day Modern Warfare 3 came out. And but really more for the multiplayer. I never even finished a campaign.
Campaign's
It's
so
mostly
good.
because I like going on and teaming up with my friends and playing. Um, you know, I just enjoy that. But I think a really underrated title the last couple of years. I know there's a lot of buzz about it, the sequel, but I think that first Transformers Cybertron game that came out a couple of years ago was really underrated and really, I played that entire game with this a permagrin on my face. I mean, it was so entertaining to an old school Transformers fan. I know the next one coming out is getting a lot of buzz, a lot of play, and I hope it can do a lot better on the market than that one did. I really think as far as a single player experience, the current generation that I enjoyed the most was that one.
Hmm. That's interesting. So are you excited about Black Ops 2?
Ponies.
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 Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna jump on and play that. I didn't get at E3 to actually see anything, behind. I can't stand in lines at E3. I just can't. About the only games I actually ever played at E3 are the ones I don't have a line for. I
Yeah.
can't sit around for 3 hours waiting to play a game that I'll get to play in a couple of months.
Yeah, there's too
Right.
much to sleep.
But I am looking forward to it. Modern Warfare 3, I didn't like as much. I felt more dated. I didn't feel as in control of my character. I didn't like the maps very much at all.
Yeah, I think Treyarch makes
Um,
a better game, a better Call of Duty. I wish that Activision weren't so greedy and they would just like Treyarch make one every 2 years. I think the series would be a lot better off.
Yeah, well, and I know Modern Warfare 3 went through problems because you had the thing in Infinity Ward go on, so you had some people that were working on it that were gone, and you had other people come in and work on it that weren't. And you're trying to add new features to a really old engine too, and that's always going to have some problems. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new one, especially since the most beautiful two words in the video gaming language, dedicated servers,
Oh yeah.
has come out. Because, just like my Twitter thing says, I hate host migrations.
Yep.
I hate, especially since they always seem to come when I'm absolutely just about to decimate some poor bastard. And suddenly, the host migration, and maybe they'll come out of it a split second before I do, or maybe we won't be in the same place, or
Right.
maybe what they'll get dumped or I'll get dumped. I don't know why they haven't done dedicated servers before now, but the fact that they're doing it, I think, my main annoyance with Call of Duty may go away with that, assuming that they're actually any good.
Well,
So
every game should have dedicated servers. I mean, look at Gears of War. If you are the host of a Gears of War game, if you have a shotgun, you can kill a dude like it's a
You
sniper
are
rifle.
God.
Yeah, you are God. There is
yeah,
no ifs, ands, or buts about
Especially
it.
if you're the Coltrane.
Especially Coltrane.
See, who doesn't want that? That's why I love Gears. It's like
Coltrane.
I could be a god. Wait, I could be Coltrane and I could be a god. Let's do
I
this.
somehow grew a
But
penis, changed skin color, got a little bit taller, and now I'm Coltrane.
my my voice is a little more raspy, and I say a lot of crass things. Wait, I
and
already say crass things.
Woo!
that is one thing too. I think that these live tournaments and stuff, I do think you do find out really who the best players are at a lot of these live competitions because of things like that. Because you're
Hmm.
there live, you're all on the same kind of connection, the same equipment. You're all there. No one's going to have an advantage that exists because of how fast your connection is or whether or not you're the host.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. See, I couldn't. I've done three tournaments, but they're not big tournaments in the U.S. It was like from like military base type, local tournaments that I did. And I think twice I won second place, and then I just donated the money to charity. But the fact that I got second place was just like sheer freaking luck. It was no skill at all. I vehemently admit I suck at multiplayer. I'm not going to be that chick who's like, oh, I'm going to pawn you, dude, just for talking crap. That's not me. No. If I pawned you, it was by accident, and I'm hysterically laughing the whole way because I am shocked. I'm just as shocked as you are, type thing. So those tournaments, they're amazing. I think I attended one like 2 years ago, and that was in Tokyo. And my God, it is a whole new monster. These tournaments, if you've never, well, I know Scott, you probably attended, but I don't know, Jerome, Cam, have you guys attended like live tournaments before?
Yes, I go to Million
Unfortunately,
Man
no.
Land, and I go to Land War every year. There's 2 events in Kentucky I go to for PC gaming.
They're crazy, right? I mean,
Oh,
these people, their game face is on, like literally and metaphorically speaking.
dude, when I was there, like, me and my father go down because we were in a Battlefield tournament group, and we always go down for Battlefield 3 tournaments and stuff. And when we go there, like, they're 24-hour, like, it's in a college. It's in Louisville University, and they have the
Mm,
entire one room lined wall to wall with PCs on a 3 GB connection. So everyone has 3 gigs, like, upload and download speed. Like, it's
that's
crazy.
amazing.
And we're all sitting there playing games, but because it's like 24 hours, like, you'll literally see people just sitting there sleeping in their chair with their headsets
Wow.
still on, with like Call of Duty or Battlefield or Diablo still running, and they're just and like
They're getting a, mm-hmm.
and like me and my dad, like we got a hotel, so we booked into the hotel and just left our PCs there, and put our we had our gamer tags and everything on our stuff. Um, but it was just funny coming back like the next day, like, because the room color doesn't change; it stays black in there the entire time. The only thing that's colorful is like people's custom built desktops that they bring that like
Yeah.
have like UV glow and all these colors and lights and things, and that's it. Like, it looks like it's 9 o'clock all the time.
Yeah, and if you've never
Awesome.
been, it's like the first time going, it's very intimidating, I would say, because I mean everybody is the atmosphere, like the feel of it, you could feel it in the air as soon as you walk in, like this shit just got real kind
Oh
of
yeah.
thing, and oh my God, like and you know what the funny thing about it is, I don't know very many females who do attend, like I don't personally know a lot of females who attend like these gaming tournaments and competitions, things like that,
There was
but
one girl
know.
there. One
I know
girl.
I know for me, in the ones that I've attended, I was like maybe one of another female, and that was about it. However, I have never been treated badly. Like, you would think you would be having, just trash talk, but there's regular trash talk that kind of comes with the whole competitive nature. It's
Yeah.
like with sports, you play sports, there's trash talking in sports. Same as with gaming, anything with kind of competition, there's going to be some trash talking. So there was like general trash talking, but at the end of it, it was very much like, hey man, good game, and just kind of communication and camaraderie. It was very amazing. I would recommend it for anybody, but it was definitely intimidating at first. Like walking in, I'm just like, whoa, okay, where did I just land? But after a while, you get your bearing, and it is a fantastic experience. You're surrounded by people who have the same interests as you.
See, and that was a nice thing. Like I didn't have to go through that whole like overwhelming feeling when I went to my first tournament because I actually got there early and helped set up the day before. Um,
That's
because we got discount stuff. They had like Western Digital and they had Razer and they had all these other like vendors there, and I ended up winning a couple things for my PC that aren't even out yet. So like my PC is running on experimental shit. So that's cool. But like I had the opportunity to actually see how everything's wired and how all the power works. Like they actually have to increase the power to the outlets from the college to supplement, all the bandwidth and all the routers and all the switches and PCs all in the same room because you got, close to 1,000 desktops that are custom built that are running, close to 1,000 watt power supplies. You're just like, okay. I mean,
yeah,
we had extension cords running the whole length of like the freaking room. It was
yeah,
crazy.
that's crazy. It's insane. Why if they can do it there, why can't Time Warner and Comcast get their shit together
Exactly.
and provide the same thing? I'm just throwing that out there. But so, Scott, what other projects? I mean, have you, other than from what you discussed under the original Gamer Chat Weekly podcast that you guys just recorded,
What's
like, is
that?
there any? What's that?
What's Gamer Chat Weekly? What's that?
What's that?
Huh?
Amazing
Well, I
audience.
mean, you know about the Pong thing. You mentioned that earlier. That's taking place in November. It's Pong's 40th anniversary, and it's the building. Now it's Rooster T. Feathers Comedy Club, but in 1972 it was Andy Cap's Tavern, and it was the bar where the very first Pong machine was beta tested back in 1972. It's the exact same building.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be doing a celebration there. I've had contact with Al Alcorn, who was the programmer of the game and the guy who had actually installed it in there in 1972. And he's very strongly considering going. Of course, it's several months out, so he
Right.
doesn't want to 100% commit to it yet because it's so far out. But I'll be giving that location a plaque as a historical site and to mark them officially as a historical site in the world of video gaming.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Very
and
nice.
that's the first site of what I hope is many that I'll be able to do that to. I got that historic registry for those types of sites, which requires a lot of research to do, but I think that those stories need to be told. I mean, you have that sort of thing for television, you have those sort of things for TV, you have those sort of things for musicians. Some of the TV ones are ridiculous. Even I think somewhere there's like a bronze Fonzie statue or something. For God's sakes,
Hey.
God bless Fonzie. Fonzie was the
Yes,
coolest cat at Arnold's Cafe or whatever. But yeah, but I mean, if Fonzie can have a bronze statue, but why is the video game industry why aren't there any markers for where historic things happen for gaming? And
exactly.
the only thing I can figure is that just nobody has given it its proper due. So why not me? So that's a big concentration of what I'm trying to do. And of course, I'm going to start producing more original content, video stuff myself. I've got offers on the table from a couple of different sites that want me to do some things for them. I've got some TV people that are interested. What's the official term that they put it to where they don't have to commit to a damn thing? They want to explore possibilities.
Ah,
Explore concept possibilities. So I'm being explored, but it doesn't mean
that's what he
anything.
said.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything will come of it. It's basically some people that basically has seen the stuff I've been doing, or they saw me at E3, which I kind of debuted a new look and a new personality style at E3, and it got me in a lot of doors, which is what's really cool
Yeah.
about it. Kind of funny about it. my photo, it's almost ridiculous. Look at my photo album. It's almost like, if I had seen somebody else's, it's like, come on, he's photoshopping himself into the picture with these people. But it really happened. No, I mean, I'm on a picture on the G4 set, and I'm sitting there next to Reggie from Nintendo. I'm hanging with Deshaun Jackson over here, and I'm hanging with these people over there, and it's just, I mean, it's just because it worked. It actually, if anything, it proves that I was right. I planned for a year to go do that. Like, try to base it off of a personality and of an image, and use that as a vehicle to get out my material and to get out the things I'm trying to share, that other people in gaming and gaming culture are doing. In some cases have been doing for a long time, but no one knows about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm focusing real hard on that. And right after that, I started getting people that started extending certain offers or certain concept possibilities. It tells me that some people recognize that the industry and the culture needs a person or needs people to be doing that.
Yeah.
But since so few of them are, they're going to go to those who initiate it, and it's kind of using my wrestling experience. In wrestling, what you do is not near as important as how you do it and how you go about it. You could be the best wrestler in the world in the ring and have all the personality of a Ritz cracker on a piece of drywall, and no one's going to come watch you. No one's going to come watch you. It's not just true of wrestling, it's true of anything. That's why Chad Ochocinco has more endorsement deals than Andre Johnson. It has nothing, Andre Johnson's a far superior wide receiver, but he's not real charismatic. Whereas Ochocinco is kind of mediocre, but he's so braggadocious and such a character that he gets the deals. So it's kind of using the same things that I would do in wrestling to be larger than life and stand out and have a little bit of a swagger, and it's working. It's already working, and I really just started doing it.
Yeah, definitely needs. I mean, I think the gaming industry definitely needs that wake-up call, because there's a whole new generation of gamers that don't even know, how it all started, that, you can go as far back as to like just something as simple as Pong, and look how far we've come since then. I feel like without knowing that history and kind of like giving acknowledgement to that, you're just kind of just haphazardly just going with the flow, or, just joining the bandwagon, so to speak, as opposed to like seeing it not just as a hobby, but more like, a culture.
Well, yeah, it's a mainstream entertainment industry. Here's the thing, video gaming grosses more than movies, television, books, music. But turn on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, turn on Saturday Night Live and see who's hosting, turn on those things, and you see the people who are involved in television, music, movies, and books on those shows. You don't see video game people on those shows.
Yep.
No one, and I've had some people that have already told me, like, I'm nuts on that. Like, well, it's because the mainstream just doesn't know or doesn't care. And it's like, it's because nobody has pushed it towards something that they'll want to watch, or people that they'll want to watch. I don't see why you can't have a gaming personality on, as a guest on a late night talk show. Why you can't have one host a Saturday Night Live someday, or have one that is, the vehicle for whatever is out there. But there's no one that's doing that. I mean, there's a handful of people that have kind of taken it that way, and they're having some success. Felicia Day is one. Nathan Barnett is another. He's doing it mostly as a character, but it's because it's entertaining. He is producing video game related entertainment, and not just thinking that because he's a really awesome gamer that people will be excited and want to make this person a celebrity. If there were celebrity gamers right now, then you would already see them on TV. You'd already see them out there. Being a celebrity in a small section of culture is not a celebrity. It's big man on campus. Well, you know what I'm saying. I mean, you get
you have those
some of these top
gamer personalities.
Yeah, you get some of these pro circuit gamers, and they're really popular to a few thousand people, and they think, okay,
Hmm.
that means I'm a celebrity, I'm a star, everyone knows who I am. Well, if people knew who you were, then how come I can't turn on my TV and see you?
Right.
And it's not, but some of them will go, it's like, oh, because mainstream entertainment is too short-sighted or this or that, and they don't recognize it. Yeah, it's like, no, it's because I don't think anybody has taken that and turned it into that. And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
NASCAR racing is huge. NASCAR started as a little informal race on a beach between a bunch of moonshiners. That's what NASCAR started as. Football, NFL football started as this little rinky-dink thing. I mean, people don't, like, what's a Green Bay Packer? Well, it was originally the Acme Meatpacking Company of Green Bay. It was a company team going way back. In more recent years, the WWE, before Vince McMahon did his thing in the mid '80s, wrestling was something that would be on your back channel at 2 a.m. on Saturday. That's all it was. He turned it into something bigger. Then, and even more
Yeah.
recently, UFC. Dana White, Dana
Oh
White's
wow,
done
yeah.
for MMA, he took something that was banned in a lot of places and, took place in nothing but these little dive bars, and he's turned it into a mainstream sport.
Yeah,
Because
he took Fight Club and made it real.
yeah, well, I mean, he took something that, people that were in it thought was already a big deal and showed them how
Yeah.
big it could really be. And there's no one
Right.
that's really been doing that in gaming. And the thing is, all of those across the board, they do it based largely on personalities. You need personalities to drive the car or
I,
really drive the
Right.
bus. You need that. You have to have that. And people in gaming have done a really bad job of that. So I'm trying to take what I learned in wrestling and, use that to help promote gaming. And I don't mean just one subsector of it either, or one part of history or one era, but all of it, which is why I'm not in a clan. I'm not exclusive to any one website or anything like that, because I don't want to allow
Hmm.
myself to only be exposed to one audience. Everybody's going to have to see and understand one another and start having some crossover. And, I
Right.
mean, why the hell, I'm not going to sit around and wait for someone else to do it.
I really hate to
So,
like break this up right now, but like me and Jerome both have things to do, and I believe I really do believe that this conversation for UGR Unplugged has gone like longer than what Brandon wants it to be. So, you guys
Yeah.
continue
Okay.
talking. That's cool. Well, I'm just gonna end the broadcast. So, all of us from UGR, thank you for tuning into UGR Unplugged, and thank you for being here, Scott. And
no
Yes.
problem.
Thank you, Scott.
don't know where we have. I don't know where we're gonna have the next one, UGR Unplugged, but we'll have one. It'll be on YouTube. So later.